I recently had a conversation about sales and customer service. And when I thought about it, they really are very relative. In fact, in my opinion, they are actually the same thing. In order to be very good and adept at sales, you have to understand the client or the person that you are trying to sell to. And um, that requires you to have a number of critical ethics in order to be successful, right? One of the first, in my opinion, is building a relationship. Sales isn't really about the product itself, it's more about the relationship you have with that person at the other end. They are real people, they are very interesting, so you have to really find something out about them that you like. If you like them, they like you. That's the first step in getting them to purchase your product, whether it be a product like consulting or whether it be an actual tangible widget. That's incredibly important. I mentioned being interested versus being interesting. That's one of the best and most important lessons that I think any salesperson has to learn, because that's part of your customer service ethic. If you go on for 5 minutes about your background, that you went and got your MBA and you have been in a business for 50 years and you know 1,000 different people, well, good, you talked a lot about yourself, but you know nothing about the client, right? What's really important is to be interested more so than interesting. So spend 20 seconds on your elevator introduction. Hi, my name is James Green. I've been in the business for 28 years. I've worked in trucking and healthcare for that time, and I've worked for about 150 organizations across the country. I'd really like to know more about you. That's it. And now you're learning more about them and what their problem is, and be sincere about it, which is my third point. Sincerity is felt. Most organizations, most customers, most clients can actually feel it if you are being sincere in your approach to them. So sincerity is critical. It's hard to teach it, but you have to be able to feel it. And if you really believe in your product, then you will actually be sincere that it will solve the problem for your client. I think I'm on number four. Number four is understanding that client's need versus their want, right? Most people really don't buy needs. I mean, you can think they do as much as you want to, but they don't, right? What they really do is they buy wants. Whether it is, I'm buying this thing because I want to get promoted, or I'm buying this thing because I want my business to succeed a little bit better. They are buying a want. And our job as a service agent is to problem solve and bridge the gap between what is wanted versus what is needed. And if you can define what is wanted as well as what is needed and how they come together, then guess what? You have increased your probability of sales by over 50 to 60%. And that's a pretty significant increase in your abilities. Finally, you have to be incredibly organized. When you are trying to sell something, your organization actually tells the client what it's like to use you, your product, or your service, right? So if you're incredibly organized, you're walking things through step by step, you make it clear and concise, everything is very easy for that client to understand, then they're more than likely going to like you, going to like your product, and more than likely going to be interested in buying that product. And guess what? You've just made the price that much more palatable when you can do that. So those are a couple lessons that I've learned.